Hello, I am Xarkun and this is World of Warships Legends. Today, I want to talk about the most economically efficient way to earn credits in World of Warships Legends. And for that, you are going to need a couple of things, and it is going to cost you some money. If you want to progress quickly in this game, then the best way to do it is to spend a little bit of money. But you don't need to spend all that much money. You just need to spend money on two things. The first is a Tier 6 premium ship. Now, the Tier 6 premiums, they are, by and large, the best credit earners in the game. It doesn't really matter which Tier 6 premium ship you get. You just want one that you can be effective in. And by effective, I mean you are going to need to do damage with it, and you are going to need to use it to help win games. The second thing you need is a premium account, or premium time. Having premium time is probably by far and away the best way to spend money on this game. The premium time just gives you a bonus at the end of every battle, a bonus in terms of your ship XP earned, your credits, global XP, commander XP, all those kind of things. You get a bonus from having premium time. Furthermore, you get a bonus from having a premium ship. And I think it's just because of the placement of the premium ships at Tier 6, where the service cost isn't as astronomically high as it is in the Tier 7 or the Legendary tier ships. The Tier 6 premiums, the service cost is relatively low, but the premium bonus you get from having a premium ship and premium time is relatively high. So that is what you need. Also, it's a good idea to put economic flags on the ship, like the credit boosting flag, and if you're after XP, then you want to put on the ship XP booster flag and the global XP booster flag. But if it's just credits, the credit boosting flag is what you want, and you want a Tier 6 premium that you know you can do well in. Now, the easiest and most efficient way to do this is to pick a premium Tier 6 ship that is a high DPM ship. So the Weimar is a very good choice. It's a very high DPM ship. And the Atlanta is also a good choice, although the Atlanta is harder to play than the Weimar. Back in the day, the Atlanta was a fearsome HE spammer. It's sort of the OG HE spammer that everybody was afraid of 2 years ago. These days, it's been power crept. There are cruisers like the Weimar who can sort of fulfill the same role as the Atlanta in terms of pumping out all that HE DPM, but they can do it better because they have longer range and less floaty shells. With the Atlanta, you really have to be very close to the action. You don't have that much range at all, and it is exceedingly difficult to hit things at max range that are smaller than battleships with the Atlanta. You really have to be good at aiming. The Weimar, on the other hand, much longer range, easier to land the shells on target. Now, doing damage does give you credit earning bonus, of course, but you want to pay attention to what the damage is that you're doing. So your raw damage total doesn't necessarily matter all that much. What matters is the percentage of an enemy's hit points pool that you remove. So if you go out there and you find destroyers and you're able to take them from 100% HP to 0% HP, well, that is a massive reward to you. That is a massive amount of credits. So basically taking 100% of the destroyer's HP is worth as much as taking 100% of a battleship's HP. The only difference is you do a lot more damage in the course of removing 100% of a battleship's HP than you do in removing 100% of a destroyer's HP. And finally, what you want to look for too in Tier 6 is you kind of want to hope that you get up-tiered. You kind of want to hope that there are Tier 7 ships in the game, because doing damage to ships of a higher tier than you is worth more than doing damage to ships of the same tier or ships of the lower tier. Now, in this case, we are top tier. This is a Tier 5, Tier 6 game, so we don't get to enjoy the boost of being able to damage tier 7 ships, but we're still going to make a lot of credits in this game. And we're shooting at the tier 6 destroyer Gajimata right now. We'll see how much of his HP we remove here, and I would say before he gets around the safety of that island, we took away roughly half of his HP, 50%. So that's quite a bit, and that's worth quite a lot of credits. Meanwhile, we're contesting this cap, we're holding it down, we're stopping the enemy from accruing points in it, and our presence here seems to have the enemy team at a bit of a loss. It's almost like a lot of these guys over here want to charge into me in order to, I don't know, take me out. But if they do want to charge around this island, then they have to be aware that the Weimar has 6-kilometer torpedoes, and it can launch 8 torpedoes off either side of its ship. So, much like a lot of the German cruisers, the Weimar is very good at holding down islands like this. It sort of dares anybody who wants to rush it to just try it, and just try to dodge the torpedoes coming their way. So our first customer is the Dallas. Of course, he's flat broadside to us, so we honestly don't probably really even need the torpedoes as we begin to hit his citadel, and in fact, well, one torpedo hits him and takes him out, but I'm sure the next salvo from our guns would have done the job just as well. Now we're at kind of low health, though, and we still have a lot of the enemy team over here. We've got the Tennessee and the Normandy quite close to us, and for whatever reason, this enemy aircraft carrier is doing some very bold maneuvers here. You can see he's right inside of the cap. He has been spotted. He's been losing health, being shot at by our teammates, and it looks like he's poised to come around this corner for reasons completely unknown to me. I don't understand why you would do this in your aircraft carrier. There is no reason for you to get this close to a Weimar and expose yourself to him and his torpedoes at point-blank range and rush him. I have no idea what that carrier was trying to accomplish, but all he accomplished was being a credit pinata for me. Same with this Gajimata here, who is still spotted, unfortunately enough for him, and he's not going to be able to stand up to the Weimar's firepower like this at this kind of range. Of course, that Tennessee is right there, and he could potentially destroy us in one salvo. His guns are pointed this way. We lose sight of the Gajimata, so we're going to shoot at the Tennessee, switching to the armor piercing, which is so very effective against broadside anything in this ship. And I think it's only going to take us, what, like 2 salvos from the back guns to finish off the health that Tennessee still had. So just like that, the center cap is clear, and we're going to be able to get back into this cap and hopefully flip it for our team. That's another thing that gives you a bonus on your credit earnings. If you're able to flip a cap without help, that is solo, then that is worth a lot of credits in XP. I think that is worth about as much credits and XP as it is to take a ship from 100% health to 0% health. Taking caps solo is worth a lot. And also, taking caps as an assist is worth a good amount too. But if you ever get a chance to take a cap solo, you want to seize that opportunity as soon as possible. Not only does that help your team win the game, but it benefits you by giving you a lot of credits and a lot of XP at the end of the game. So we're going to be able to get into this cap. I think we've got a destroyer somewhere near us. I don't know if he's going to assist us in taking the cap. He very well might. Yeah, he's inside the cap. So this is going to be an assisted capture, but that's fine. We're still going to get a lot of XP from it, and we're able to shoot at the ships over here. And now, at this point in the game, we are going to get a little bit greedy. And this is something you're going to want to avoid doing if you're out there trying to grind credits in your powerful Tier 6 premium ship. You don't want to get greedy. You don't want to artificially limit the amount of time you stay inside of a game, because of course the longer you're alive, the more damage you can do, the more caps you can take, the more caps you can defend, all that kind of thing. Your ship isn't effective when it's at the bottom of the sea, so we see the Miyoko out there. We think we can get some broadside shots on him, and we can. No Citadel hits, unfortunately, but we do get the high caliber metal, and we're going to park ourselves right here by this island, giving ourselves some cover from the enemy ships. But this is where we start to get greedy. We see the shores coming around. We kind of think he's probably aware of us, and he is. And with that HE DPM that he has, well, it's not going to take him very long at all to take us down. Only 2 salvos, so unfortunately we do go down. And this may not be the most ideal time for us to go down because it's 5 versus 4 here. The enemy team could still potentially win this, but I don't think they're going to. We were able to take both the Charlie and the Bravo cap. There is no enemy threat at Charlie, so our team is able to move through the center of the map toward these enemy battleships, which are all, or not enemy battleships, but enemy ships in general, which are all centered on only one side of the map. So their path to victory is a lot more fraught than my team's path to victory. If they want to win, they're going to have to get on that Bravo cap and at least contest it, if not flip it. And they really don't have anything that is going to be well suited for doing that. They've got 2 cruisers and a battleship, all fairly visible vessels that if they get into that Bravo cap, they're probably going to get spotted, and they're never going to be allowed to take it because they're going to get constantly reset by my teammates. And of course, we still do have an aircraft carrier because our aircraft carrier didn't suicidally rush into a cap at the very start of the game, so he's around to do some spotting. This Aoba, he launched torpedoes in this gap toward these 2 cruisers, hoping he would tag one, and success. He gets the Pensacola, taking him down and reducing the fight to a 4 versus 2. Although it is only 3 surface ships versus 2 surface ships, and still it could go either way. We've got a Gneisenau here in retreat. He's on pretty low health. I don't know what the HP situation of the enemy battleship is, but I wouldn't be surprised if the enemy battleship was able to take down this Gneisenau, who looks like he's turning in now. Maybe he wants to go push that enemy battleship. And we've got a Tennessee out here who is on very low health. So our team is on quite low health. There is a good chance that the enemy team could still win this. I mean, potentially that Tennessee is a one-shot kill for the battleship. Potentially that Gneisenau is also a one-shot kill. And the Aoba doesn't have a lot of health either. The only thing we could rely on if these guys go down is the aircraft carrier, and you can see the Ragnarok is on half health. It would take the aircraft carrier quite a bit of time to whittle him down, most likely, and the Ragnarok, while he may not be the best armored ship known to man, and he may be kind of squishy, he does have 16-inch guns that can easily take out a Tennessee in one shot. And provided the Gneisenau gives him enough of an angle, well, he could take down the Gneisenau very easily too. Plus, that Aoba out there is also on very, very low health. And mostly I just want to commentate on the last part of this game because I found this interesting while I was watching it. I wanted to see what this Aoba was going to do because it seemed like he was playing a sort of high-risk, high-reward type of game here. And I think he finishes quite well on the leaderboard. So whenever I die in matches like this, sometimes I like to stick around and I like to watch what my teammates do. And sometimes it makes it into a YouTube video where I compliment them for their skill, prowess, and timing. Although sometimes I do have to criticize them, but I'm not afraid of criticizing myself either. And I am due for some criticism here. It would be better if I hadn't thrown away all my HP so quickly in the game and gone down so quickly, because like I said, good chance that the enemy team could win here. This Aoba, all he needs to do is be tapped by one battleship armor-piercing shell for an overpen, and he's at the bottom of the sea. Now, he's playing the game with this island here, the sort of spotting game. This island is preventing the Ragnarok from seeing him. It's also preventing him from seeing the Ragnarok. He's got torpedoes coming around the corner, but the Ragnarok, I think, was aware of the Aoba's presence. He must have been spotted at least momentarily, so the Ragnarok is able to avoid and take out the Aoba with only one shell. But it's too little too late. less than a minute left to go in the game. We have a commanding points lead thanks to our holding of the caps and our taking down all the ships. So the Ragnarok, he's got no hope of winning the game. He just simply doesn't have enough time. If he had 5 more minutes, well, maybe he could do it. But he doesn't have those 5 minutes. He's got 30 seconds, or 20 seconds actually. So there you go. You're going to have to take a look at the results screen at the end of this game to see that I earned like 840,000 credits. And just keep in mind, if you're out there trying to grind credits, Tier 6 premium ship with a premium account and a credit boosting flag, that's going to be the best bang for your buck. Now, if you don't want to buy a premium ship, then a Tier 5 tech tree ship with a premium account would do fairly well, along with the credit boosting flag, or even a Tier 5 premium ship. It's really up to you and how much you want to put into this game. The bottom of the line is, though, that if you want to have the opportunity to progress faster, earn more resources, then you do have to invest a little bit of money in order to do that in the most efficient way. And personally, I don't mind spending money on the game for those purposes. So, hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If so, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.